some of the stuff I do to pass the long winter months here in Ontario. I'm not much into ice fishing. I guess that goes against my getting any outdoors, but I do get outside and do other stuff in the winter time. Just don't like looking down a hole, hoping there's a fish down there. One of the things I like to do in the winter time is cut, carve, and paint my own lures out of different types of wood. This is a wood, I have no idea what it is. There was a skid came in at work. It had a really cool texture, nice coloring. I've made a few lures with it. It stinks to high hell. It's got some strange color patterning, and it's all throughout the wood. If anybody knows what that could be, feel free to comment. So the two lures I'm going to make out of this is going to be basically lipless crankbaits in the style of a spoon. So the first spoon is going to be the Evanger Daredevil. Evanger came to Ontario fishing for, I guess, the pike, bass, and walleye that we have, and he spent over a month up here fishing with the lure of his own design, which is more noticeable and recognized as the red and white spoon. His has the little devil symbol on the lower part in the middle of the white stripe. The other lure is going to be the 5 of Diamonds, which is a Len Thompson lure that was designed in 1958, and he built his lures in Saskatchewan. And Len was actually colorblind, and this lure started out as red and black, I believe, and then silver and red, until it finally became known as the yellow spoon with the 5 red diamonds. And I'm going to make lipless crankbaits out of this chunk of mystery wood. Yeah, let's see how this works out. Alright, now it's time to do the handiwork on the bandsaw. Trim this out just roughly. I'm not going to get too crazy about getting close to the lines because I do most of my fine tuning on the old belt sander, so here we go. Belt sanding. Bring these down a little more close to what I'm looking for shape. Crudely cut out, but won't take much on the sander to fix that. Knocked off most of the saw marks. Now I'm just going to go and mark out where I want my final lines to be
ground down as far as the contours, how narrow I want the head. Got to mark the center yet of where I'm going to be putting my counterweight. One's a little bigger than the other, but that's absolutely fine. I'm not too particular. As long as they swim good, I don't really get too attached to the shape of them. So that was a quick sand job on them.
Alright guys, basically I've done all my pencil lines of where I'm going to sand this thing down, and I didn't include that because I'm sure you've all seen how a pencil works. I've also traced out my lure so I could have a fairly decent contour for that white stripe down the center of this Daredevil lure, and I'm going to cut that out, and I'm not going to draw the lines on with the pencil because I have this bad habit of sanding away my pencil marks. So I'm going to actually take the wood burning tool and I'm going to burn that line in, see if I lose that one. And yeah, I'll bring you back after I've completed that step. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, did a little wood burning. Looks uglier than it actually is. However, I'm going to drill the hole in the bottom. I put a little pilot right about there. And now I'm going to drill it out a little bit bigger, about 1/4 inch. And that's the hole I'm going to put the lead in. Hope it don't split. Not very centered. Meh. And closer. And do what you don't do with drill bits and try and route it to the side. And it's a little oblong. I don't know whether you can see that, but I'm going to take a little bit of material off right there before I put the lead in there. Might even bore that hole out a little bit bigger. We'll see what I do. Alright, now it's time to put the ballast in this thing, which is my counterweight at the bottom of that hole that I did bore out a little bigger. This here is your classic crack spoon. That's not what I use it for. This is my melting pot for lead. So the lead I use is going to be 2 little wee split shots, or sinkers, for my trout kit. I wonder why I never have sinkers. I'm going to put this down while I light the torch, and a little bit of that on there. Now, the best way to be careful doing this is to do it in your bare feet like I am. Probably not the smartest way to do this, but I'm very careful. Yeah, that's what I'll tell them when I go to the hospital tonight, too. But I was very careful. Alright. Melting a little bit there now. There they go. And they're all liquefied, and that's not enough. So, on the fly, I'm going to put another little guy in there. Ruby. Okay. Come on. There it goes. There she goes. Get that down in there too. And I think I'm going to stop there before I have more problems. Sometimes the lead doesn't stick very good when you melt it twice. So I'll put my not crack spoon down.
gonna let that cool off, and then I'm gonna do the Marling Bates baking soda and super glue trick. Fill the rest of that hole up, and I think that is gonna be weighted just about right. So now that's ugly as sin, but I'm gonna sand it down a little bit after, and yeah, if somebody were to barge into my basement right now and see all this white powder just built all over the place, and my burnt, not crack spoon, they'd probably have some pretty interesting questions for me. However, I swear on everything fishing that's not what I'm doing. It's just super glue, baking soda, and yeah, maybe I should have better ventilation down here though. This burns the eyes. Alright. Alright, now for my hook hangers. I'm going to super glue those into these little holes that I drilled. This one here is a little bit shorter than I wanted. Not much, it'll still work just fine, but I'll put it on the bottom because that's where you usually, I find, I hook up a lot less fish there than I do on the back of the treble. So all I'm going to do is get this little biter tool on my split ring plier. Get a little bit of the old Gorilla Glue out. Put a little bit of this on there. A little bit of that goes a long way, especially when you start sticking your fingers to stuff. And aha. Yep. There we go. Maybe not. Some say you have to screw those in. I just say you're not pushing hard enough. And I will put this one on the tail section. A bit of that. Should probably dry fit these first to make sure it's gonna work, but I like doing things the wrong way the first time, so I have more experience when I gotta redo everything and try it again. That's what I'll tell myself anyhow. Alright, the last one will be where the line tie goes. I get that little extra. Ooh, that's extra, alright. And that section I've burnt with the wood burning kit. I am pushing pretty hard here, so it should be a little tough to come out. And now for the last trick. I don't know why I put on a rubber glove, because it seems like I get this stuff all over my fingers anyways. So to seal the wood, you just use plenty of super glue. Works about as good as anything I've tried. That way it doesn't absorb any, soak up any water tomorrow when I go to test it. And it's also pretty good for that old, for the base coat to grab onto when I go to paint it maybe tomorrow night. I hope where I burnt it doesn't cause any ill effects to the glue or any of the clear coat and stuff like that I use. And a bit of a dry spot under there, but I should have enough glue on this thing. Yeah, better safe than sorry. There's a little bit extra down in there, and what did I just say? Better safe than sorry, hey? A little bit there. Something else I learned, the hazard of doing this in your bare feet, is super glue doesn't dry real fast until it touches something that it really likes bonding to. I find bare feet, when you step on a little gob of super glue, causes it to dry pretty quick then. So that's going to be nice. Walking around feeling that in my sock all day tomorrow. Yeah. Alright, this will be the end of this. Alright. The color I'm going to start with, probably the wrong order, but I'm going to go with the bright red metallic for basically the body of this bait. And start with a little bit of water. Ooh, you spill it. That's a good idea. I'm going to put quite a bit in there, actually. Should have put a sinker in there to mix that up, but I didn't. So, oh well. See what we get. A lot of my projects seem to be that way. Let's just see how it turns out. So, looks pretty thick. So, hopefully there's a bit of water still down the bottom. Just a touch thick yet. Basically, I want that consistency or viscosity, but the same as chocolate milk. But right now it's chocolate milk my wife would, ooh, that's better. Chocolate milk my wife would like. Really thick. I don't know what that means, but here we go. Hopefully, I had to clean out the gun. Hopefully it comes out better. Oh, it comes out way nicer. So, oh, I like that a lot better. Huh. Not too bad, I guess. I'm going to sit for a second, then give her a second coat, but that compressor's probably going to kick on and scare the bejesus out of me in a second. Oops, starting to run, so. I'm pretty happy with that for a start. I'll let that dry and then probably tape it. Yeah, maybe I'll throw some clear coat on that first. Let it dry, tape it, and then do the white, clear coat it again. So it's gonna be a while now. So I'll leave you right there, guys. All right, so I didn't show you guys the rest of the painting that I did because that compressor is just so damn loud. You wouldn't have been able to hear anything I said anyways. So basically my Evanger Daredevil is right there. It's not exactly the same as the Evanger. The red is a metallic red that I've used, and it's a pearl white, a little bit of shiny stuff. Should help it attract a little bit of fish. I've tested this in the test tank. Pretty happy with how it swims. And yeah, we'll see what happens. The other lure is done the exact same way. It's a little wider at the tail, but it was the Len Thompson 5 of Diamonds that I made. Very bright, and we're about 3 weeks out from the pike pickerel opener here in Northern Ontario, where I live, and I
plan on testing out the KBS diamond coat on those two lures to see how they hold up to pike teeth, because I have a feeling these are going to be super popular in the water in 2 weeks from now. So basically that's it. I don't sell lures, I just build them for myself. I give them away to friends, family, the like, and you'd never recoup the cost of what it takes to make one of these, although there is a good feeling when you do catch fish on the lures you make. And fish aren't picky. They haven't evolved much in the last million years, so everything looks fairly new to them. I've seen them bite lures and attractants that they have no business biting. So I use it as a good excuse to get myself outside. So I named this channel Getting Any Outdoors, and this gives me a great excuse to get outside and enjoy what this country has to offer. So everybody else on YouTube says like and subscribe. I guess I'll do the same thing. Like, subscribe, or don't, whatever. I'm gonna hopefully post a few videos of me fishing with these in a couple weeks, and you guys go ahead and do the same thing. Get outside, enjoy this country. Thanks for watching.